You're swiping through the usual late-night blur of memes, dances, and trends. Your brain is happily coasting on the dopamine. Then the scroll suddenly stops. A young man stares directly into the lens and tells you that if you scroll past this video, you are rejecting God. Welcome to Faith Talk. For centuries, spiritual authority was centralized in physical spaces. Pastors and priests delivered messages from elevated platforms. Today, that architecture has migrated. We've swapped the carved stone of the traditional pulpit for a 9:16 vertical screen. The creators, broadcasting from their bedrooms, don't rely on deep theology to keep your attention. They use immediate, visceral fear. The message is explicit. Skipping the video is a literal sin, a direct rejection of Jesus himself. This is a calculated psychological trap. The result is a space where the psychological mechanics of the platform and the spiritual message have become indistinguishable. Psychologists are identifying a specific condition triggered by this content: religious OCD, also known as scrupulosity. It's a psychological disorder where faith becomes a source of extreme anxiety. Instead of finding peace, the brain is locked in a cycle of panic. The algorithm routinely pushes these religious warnings to impressionable teenagers, to individuals struggling with severe medical diagnoses, and those looking for a way out of financial crises. When these users try to simply close the app, they're hit with an intense wave of guilt. They feel a heavy burden of spiritual failure, convinced they've angered God just by trying to disengage from their phone. By moving spirituality onto a platform designed for infinite scrolling, chronic panic becomes the default state. Spiritual abuse is now administered one swipe at a time. A viral prophecy video is an engineered product. Creators use a 4-part mathematical formula to manufacture these digital miracles. First is the music. Creators use swelling, cinematic ambient tracks loaded with emotional chords specifically chosen to bypass your logical brain and trigger an emotional response. Second is the Barnum effect. The speaker will make a claim like, "Someone watching this is struggling with their finances." It feels personal, but statistically it applies to millions of people simultaneously. Third, they invent urgency, claiming God will bless you in the next 24 hours. Finally, they deploy engagement bait, demanding you type amen or share the video with 3 friends to receive the blessing. This formula turns divine intervention into a transaction. It gamifies spiritual grace, reducing it to watch time and share metrics. These digital prophets are executing an old playbook. Decades ago, broadcast televangelists built empires using the exact same emotional triggers to solicit donations through television screens. This chart reveals the difference in the medium speed. The TV era required years to gradually build an audience. The TikTok algorithm creates a vertical growth curve, delivering millions of targets to a creator overnight. Those audiences are lucrative. Followers are pressured into digital tithing. They send real money through Cash App links in bios or purchase digital gifts during live streams in exchange for personal prayers. This is Prosperity Gospel 2.0. It is the exact same historical fraud, running on a faster, efficient piece of technology. The algorithm sorting this content has a fatal operational flaw. It cannot measure truth. It only understands engagement and watch time. This creates a race to the bottom. A calm, balanced theological video gets 100 views. But if a creator screams that the world is ending next Tuesday or stages a fake miracle with hired actors, the algorithm rewards them with millions of impressions. The demand for increasingly extreme content leads to real-world exploitation. Individuals experiencing psychiatric crises are frequently filmed and posted online under the guise of demon deliverance, permanently broadcasting their vulnerability for clicks. Now, a counter-movement has emerged in response. Creators on Discernment TikTok use the app's duet feature to perform theological postmortems on these viral videos, teaching the public how cold reading tricks and emotional manipulation actually work. But the content mill is evolving. The newest trend features hyperrealistic AI preachers reciting prophecies written by ChatGPT, optimized to game the algorithm. This is the dead internet theory realized, a gospel where bot preachers extract engagement metrics from bot followers. The most dangerous theological misconception flourishing right now is a simple numbers game. Users see 10 million views on a video and assume that scale equals divine approval. The algorithm deliberately isolates these vulnerable users in echo chambers. It cuts them off from diverse perspectives, locking them into intense, parasocial relationships with influencers who only view them as a metric. As these manufactured miracles are exposed, the fallout spreads beyond TikTok. It provides constant fuel for the hashtag exangelical and hashtag deconstruction movements, as users who were once looking for hope begin to view the entire institution through the lens of the digital fraud they've witnessed. The For You page is an engagement engine. Using it as a theological filter makes it harder for a user to identify genuine leadership. Surviving this landscape requires a specific focus on media literacy. You have to critically question the motives behind every viral piece of content. The loudest voices screaming into ring lights are chasing metrics. Real, substantial spiritual action happens off camera. It happens in physical communities, far away from the noise of a feed. In the digital era, the most powerful act of spiritual discernment is recognizing the illusion. It's putting down the phone, walking away from the algorithm,